Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. You're watching News Channel 5, News Channel 5 Plus. Get that right there. And we're on OpenLine this evening, where we are asking the expert indeed, Rebecca. We've had you here for a while now. Tonight, we've been talking a lot on the topic assisted living. I think it's something that a lot of folks definitely have faced or inevitably will face, whether it's them or someone they know. And it's great to hear that we have places like Creekside to really provide some of these, not only expert care, but as well as overall just kind of a fun living environment as well for the folks. That's kind of what my next part of this segment I want to talk about was, you do have folks that really don't need that specific individual care, but are still able to do things on their own. The independent living is what I'd like to talk about next, because you all have a lot that you offer. I mean, it seems like a fun campus for folks that move in. So we've got senior apartments first. Let's talk about those. Okay.
We do have a couple of plans, floor plans. 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom. It just depends on what your need is. If you have a roommate or a family member, or
yeah, it just depends varies.
On what, it does.
Whatever your needs are.
Right.
And you all have really, and we talked about this earlier, just a full day of activities. We've got, I see here, events, classes, and occasional outings. But real quick, I want to talk to you about the location. Creekside is there in Murfreesboro. Right. And you all are near the mall, Crescent Park, and some golf courses. Right. So that's interesting. It makes it fun. Let's talk a little bit about a good question we just had come in about the services for the family, the folks like us who are taking our loved one to assisted living. Not an easy thing to do, of course. And the number one thing I think we can all agree is we want to know our loved one is going to be in good hands. So anything along the lines of family education, do you have someone on staff who can educate us on how to really deal with this and do it in the best way possible? We do.
We have, like I said before, we have our nurse practitioners there. They're awesome. They're always willing, to sit down with a family member, or if they call, hey, I need to talk to blah blah blah. They're always, I'll shoot them a text and they're like, oh yeah, sure, I'll call them right back. They're always willing to sit down, as much as they need, much as the family needs, whatever questions that they have, they're always willing to help. And also our nurses are awesome. They help tremendously with education. I know a lot of our families come to them and be like, okay, well, how was mom today, or how was mom, yesterday? I didn't get out here, like I usually do. What was her day like? So, they do. They tell the families that, oh, well, mom had a good day, mom had a bad day, whatever had went on that day. So
it's important, I think, it gives us a peace of mind to keep that line of communication open. When we have someone we care about, that really we do have to kind of turn them over to someone who is better, educated and capable to care for our loved ones. I think it's good to hear that, we forget, maybe we need the education on the right way of going about this, and even just to give you a peace of mind.
Right.
So
and too, we have training that we do for our staff to kind of keep up with not the newest, but the best way to care for our memory care, and to care for different aspects of, because we do have a lot of different dynamics in our community. So we do different classes, and we do different training, and we do like classes on the computer and stuff like that to keep them up to date to what they can do.
Always progressing. That's right.
That's right.
All right, well, I do believe it is Margaret, is that right, this evening we have on the line?
Yes.
Hi, Margaret. What can we talk with you about tonight? Thanks for calling in.
Well, my ask is, what does it cost to go into like assisted memory or skilled care? Because a lot of us, women especially, don't get much money. We may have a small pension and some Social Security, but many times we're not able to afford some of this.
That's a great question. I'm curious about that as well.
Right. Well, really and truly, I'm not really for sure, like the base but I always do assessments every time that we get a referral, or we have somebody or a family member that comes in that says, okay, mom, I need some help. Mom needs this, or dad needs this. I need some help. I always go, or somebody always goes and does an assessment. Our assessments are based on point systems. Our memory care is a flat fee, all inclusive, fee for everything.
Yeah.
So those points really, I don't want to say doesn't matter, but they do our care plan by those points, so our staff knows how to take care of them. Okay. But with our assisted living, the points add up, and that's what they pay a month.
Okay.
In care charges. So they have a flat fee, and then they have care charges on top of that. I do believe that some people, depending on different things, and this is totally not my department, that depends on their insurance, depends on, like I said, different things, they do qualify for assistance, and like I said, it just depends on how much they can get, how much, I'm not really for sure. There's a lot of different dynamics and different aspects that have to be plugged in to see what they can get.
Yeah, I guess it's tough to say. It'll vary for the individual depending on the amount of care that they're going to need.
Right.
And okay, I know that is one thing. I know some of these amenities or these wonderful, I mean, we talked about some great things that you all have, but it will come at a cost, and that is a great question. I'm happy to hear that someone did call in and ask that, because I think that's the main concern is, can we afford this? And that is a tough question, and it's a hard one to answer. I will say too, I'm looking for the actual number to you all's facility, but I actually don't have it here. But again, it's what we're talking about tonight. If you're just tuning in, there it is. Thank you for popping that up. Yeah, there's everything we need right there. Creekside at Three Rivers Assisted Living. There's the information to their facility. Again, we're talking here with Rebecca Roberts tonight, and Rebecca is the Director of Nursing at Creekside at Three Rivers Assisted Living. And there's the information, and I would encourage you all, give them a call. Maybe the last question we had there from our viewer, we appreciate you asking us that, and maybe if you want to give them a call and talk with some folks, I'm sure they'd be happy to really maybe even map out something that would a plan that would work best for them.
We're always up for giving tours. If you just stop by, call, we'll be happy to give information. We'll help any way we can.
Creekside at Three Rivers Assisted Living. Say that fast.
Oh yeah.
It's a little bit of a tongue twister.
Oh yeah, you should see us answering the phone.
That's right. But they will answer the phone, and they will answer your questions.
That's right.
All right, Rebecca, let's go ahead and move on here to some other topics. Again, we appreciate those phone calls. We still have another half hour here on the show that we'd love to hear from you, and any questions you have for Rebecca tonight, she's happy to answer them. And just to kind of keep the conversation going, some of the benefits to these apartments, if you do decide that this is the best option for you, and you're not really needing the actual really any sort of help with your living, your independent living is the word I'm looking for, you actually can customize these apartments to make it feel more like home. Why is that important?
Yes, and that doesn't, that's not just for our independent, that's for our assisted living and our memory care. The family, we encourage the family to bring in, their furniture, their, anything that they can bring in, their art for their wall, trinkets, anything, because when they come to our community, we want them to feel at home. We want them to feel comfortable. We don't, we want to meet them, physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, all the way around, all aspects. We want them to, to be at home.
Yes,
to be at home.
It's important. I think we all want to feel that way. If you can make it your home, I think that's a wonderful option they provide there. Let's talk about the types of folks we're seeing at your facility. Do you feel like it's a broad spectrum when it comes to the ages? Is it a little bit of everyone? Do you you all kind of see, you know, folks from all over? What's kind of the common community that you'll walk into out there?
We do, predominantly we're 65 and older. We do have a few that are younger than that. But basically, yeah. But
get a wide variety. Yeah, I figured so.
It is.
Now, I'm curious. Some assisted living facilities, they actually provide care for folks who maybe have special needs. Is that something that you all offer, just out of curiosity?
I do believe we do. We do. If they meet like an assessment, you know, if we were to get a referral from, you know, we would actually go out and see them, and if they pass, or not pass, but you know, if they kind
of meet the requirements,
then of course.
Great. You know, it's interesting. You've only been with Creekside for 6 weeks now, and you know, we're happy to talk with you. We're going to go ahead and take another quick break, but when we come back, I want to hear a little bit more about, you know, your story, your past 6 weeks out there, maybe some of the things that you all have coming up down the road, you know, Creekside, that we can kind of chat about and get folks excited about. All right. Well, we will be right back, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in.